Well, fall and winter, a great time to check up on your health, getting your flu shots and doing other checkups. Of course, COVID's still around. One place to do that is our annual health fairs. And joining us this morning is our friend Gary Drews to talk about the new health fairs coming up. Always liked your first name, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You too.
So speaking of names, Nine Health Fair has been the name for 3 decades, and you're changing your name.
We are.
Talk about that.
Well, Nine News started Nine Health Fair back in 1979, believe it or not. 43 years later, we are discovering, thanks to a pandemic, that there is more to preventive health than screening once a year. And so we have gone about making preventive health available and accessible to anyone in Colorado for under $100 year-round. And so that really led into our mission thinking in terms of how do we express ourselves these days, and 365 Health came to mind.
365 Health. Well, it's a good name. It's a memorable name. So talk a little bit about the pandemic. I mean, you guys really kind of changed your mission during the pandemic to get people through that.
We sure did. It was New Year's Eve a year and a half ago that the governor's office called and said, can you start running vaccine clinics? And we said, absolutely. And we've now run 500 clinics or thereabouts for all in harder to reach communities around the state to make sure that everybody has access to the vaccine. And we'll this fall be providing the new vaccine booster and flu shots and more at all our health fairs.
Yeah. Now, the downside of that is people were so concentrated on getting through COVID that some of them kind of forgot about their health in general. And you guys are trying to change that too, I know.
Oh boy, everybody avoided going to the doctor, they avoided getting their screenings done, and as a result, if you don't learn what's going on inside your body, kind of like your car, then you might be developing a chronic disease you don't even know about. So we've gone about preventing disease year-round by providing access to a doctor through telehealth year-round, including a lab screening and the education to use them wisely for under $100 a year.
And will you still do the health fairs in that whole process?
We are. You can go to a health fair and get screened and then follow up with a doctor if you don't have one. Believe it or not, there's over 1 million people in Colorado that do not have access to a doctor.
That is incredible.
It's mind-boggling, among other things going on these days. And so we set out to change that. And so now you can access a doctor 24/7, as many times as you want in a year. For under $100.
And that is a really good deal. So how do people get involved if they need some help, or even if they don't but want to check up on their health? What should they do?
Well, today we'll be changing our name at noon. 365 Health will
become, today's the day, huh?
Today is the day. You guys get the scoop.
All right.
And imagine that. And so you can go to 365health.org and you can find the list of health fairs, vaccine locations. You can sign up for our new service, Health in Hand, and learn a little bit about your health, which is really the access point to changing anything about your health.
Sure. And you were mentioning too that, I mean, you are still a nonprofit. I mean, that's your mission. And so nonprofits sometimes need a little bit of help, need donations. And so not everybody can afford $100, I'm guessing.
That's right. It really is. The cost of care is just through the roof. And so our goal was to make this as accessible as possible. And so by changing our name, that also allows us to raise funds to support families, for instance, living at the Salvation Army or in other housing facilities to have access to the same service. And imagine what that's like for somebody that doesn't have a car or is working an hourly job and can't get to a clinic during a 10-minute break.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so this bridges that gap that we're seeing.
All right. Check out 365 Health. If you need help, there is help available. If you'd like to donate to help other people that aren't as fortunate, you can do that too. I wish you the best.
Thank you, Gary.
Congratulations on the name change.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll miss having 9 in the name, but we'll still be around.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.